Hi again everyone. It is 17 days since I did anything to these pots, and you'll remember this one was full of all that funny lava last time. I'm starting from number 3 this time because the video always seems to cut out when I get to number 3 for some reason. So let's have a look inside here. So 17 days ago this was full. Now look at it, and it's looking quite, what would be the term? It looks very dry in there actually, which is really interesting. And I can see, oh, it's quite stodgy. I can see soldier fly larvae, but they certainly seem dormant. So maybe it's got too cold. Or did something kill them? Like that guy said. There's lots of mites on there. See those tiny little balls? If I can hold still enough, you can see them moving. Now there's a soldier fly larva wiggling in there. So I don't actually think they're dead. I think they might, maybe they are. Let's see if we can investigate this. I'll just take my glove off. Maybe all that, they're still soft and spongy. I think they might be dead. Maybe I killed them. Or are they just hibernating? He's still soft and spongy. Just having a little whiff there. He's one of the hairy ones too, see, they've got that hair over them. They're certainly not moving. And this has certainly dried up a bit, like it's got stodgy, and it hasn't turned to soil like it did the last time. I think they must be hibernating, because see that one there's moving, but very, very slowly. Perhaps it's just getting too cold for them. It's not cold today at all. They definitely are inactive, that's for sure. Oh, there's our fork. I'm definitely not going to pick that fork out now. I'll definitely leave that in there till next time, because that's got lots of gunk on it. Oh, they're moving down there a bit, down the bottom. Oh no, look. It must be just too cold at the top. Let me see if I can get that closer. It's going to be hard. There's a whole pile down the bottom here. That are happily moving away. You see down there? So it must be that it's getting too cold for them, because that hasn't killed the ones down the bottom. So these ones up the top must have just got too cold and they've decided to have a little nap. And I wouldn't waste, I definitely would not empty a pot in that condition. I would wait till it turned to soil. But coming into winter, the pots are going to be slower. I've got all this waste here from 17 days, can you believe that? Haven't had time to get out here. I don't have my Airbnbs anymore, so I haven't got the amount of waste that I had before. They produced a lot of waste. It gave me lots to fill my pots up with. smells quite citrusy. I'll just get some water. My stagnant water supply has dried up, so I have to get some fresh water. There we go, nice and clean again. Don't really need to cover that anymore. And so here we are again. It's 22 days later, and I'm going to open these 2 pots that I filled up with all the old waste that I cleaned out the kitchen with. And I found some more. This was the spice rack cupboard, and it's pretty bad. So there's other things in here, but look at all these old spices that, look at this, it's just shocking. I'm not going to take them out of that packet, out of there. That's vegetarian stock. Anyway, put that to one side for now. Now, last time we looked at this, I filled this up. Gee, I'm trying to remember. Can't remember. I'll have to go and look at the video. But this was filled right up, and it was very dry. All I did was add a bucket of water. But in the last 22 days we have had some rain, so that has really helped the process along. If I recall too, there was a whole bunch of tea bags in here as well. Ooh, it's a bit stinky down there today. Oh, big piece of ginger. The soldier flies are looking very dormant. There's still plenty in here, but my guess is it's definitely too cold now. We are in Brisbane, so it's not super cold. But this is very, very stodgy again, but it's still gone down compared to when it was full. So I'm still going to fill it up again. I'm still going to leave it the way it is. I'm not going to change it. And we'll put all this other stuff in here and let's see what happens. There's a lot of chili powder in here. I don't know what the soldier flies are going to think of that. And a whole bunch of peppercorns. But there's some pine nuts, some, what do you call it, almonds. There's a whole big bunch of bread in here. Garlic flakes. So it's pretty yucky stuff. And now being winter might be the wrong time to actually put it in here, but it'll be a good test to see what happens. What are those? Cinnamon sticks. A potato. I was going to plant that potato, just haven't had time, as always. Onion, lots of everything in there. I'm not going to add extra water. I'm just going to pack that in there, and I'll just pick up all those. Actually, I might leave those loose bits there for the birds out there. And let's turn the lid up the other way. And look how beautiful those leaves break down inside the lid. And this is why I say if you put your grass clippings and your leaves directly on the garden, they'll turn into beautiful soil without any hard work. None of that turning and having to make sure you've got that carbon nitrogen ratio right. Spread it around your garden bed and it'll break down quicker, faster, turn into beautiful soil, no hard work. There we go. Hello again everyone. It has been 27 days since I looked at these pots, and 27 days of collecting waste in 2 containers, and nobody in their right mind would collect waste for that long. I just don't have time to empty it. So you can see all the covers come off, not a big deal. Let's have a look and see what's going on. And this of course is pot number 3, and it's got a big stick in there. Oh no, it's a bit of a nut. Here we go. Now, 27 days ago, we filled this right up again. It's definitely going slow now because it's winter. There's a soldier fly there. Kind of almost ready to pupate, really. I'd say he's just being dormant. It's sort of a bit smelly, but not stinky, revolting smelly. But only, oh, there's some soldier flies in there. This is awesome, because it is so cold at the moment, or it has been. So there, we can see some soldier flies. And see all these little tiny things here? They're little mites. So it's still working, but very slowly, because they do hibernate over winter. Oh, and look at that down there. There's a whole bunch of them down there. And I would say they're hibernating too. You can see that. Little tiny ones are doing things, but those big ones aren't doing much at all. I'm trying to remember if this was the one that I had a plastic cup in. I just looked at it on, oh, there's a cinnamon stick, that's right. I had in here pine nuts cinnamon stick. There's a lot of old waste from the kitchen. And I wanted to see, look at that. Oh wow, look at that. They found a nice little warm spot to break down food. Isn't that amazing? Inside a cinnamon stick. What is that? Oh, that was the paper, that was the bag that had the paper bag that had the stock, vegetarian stock cubes in it. It hasn't done much over that 27 days. Normally in the summer we'd get a much better result than this. But it's still working, which is amazing. And I can see some soldier flies right down the bottom there. There's a bit of orange. It always adds a nice smell to the compost, I reckon, to these pots. It's very, very stodgy down there. Oh, there's that fork from many fills ago. I should have taken it out when it was actually clean. I'll have to wait now. You can see right down the bottom how it's really stodgy there. And that's just a normal decomposition process. It's nothing to worry about. But under normal circumstances, you wouldn't go digging around in it like I do. You'd just keep filling it up. Or you would let it sit and fully decompose. Then you would scoop it out and toss it on the garden. I just like to show you what's going on down there. So if you see this inside your pots, you don't need to worry. This system works better wet than it does dry. Most other composters like that more dry environment, but the soldier flies love this mushy mess. So to me that's good, because that will just break down in the next couple of weeks. And again, what's it been, 27 days, how much is that? 3 weeks. So really that's only a bit over 3 weeks. In winter you would expect this to take 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes 8 weeks to break down. So 3 to 4 weeks at this point isn't bad at all. Now if you had that in an above ground composter, well, first of all you wouldn't, because you couldn't put all that stuff in there, all that meat and everything that I put in here. But if it was fruit and veg, it would still be there. It wouldn't have broken down that much. Let's get that stuff off my hands. Yucky. Now this waste, let's see how much we can actually fit in here, because this is pretty full. You probably won't be able to fit it all in, because it's really getting, now we're in winter, it's getting to that bit of a full stage. I'm definitely not going to fit it all in. Oh, my noisy neighbour. I can smell ham in there, or bacon, it might be bacon. Now I think I'll put the rest of that waste in another pot. And I've just mulched up a whole bunch of branches, so I might try that as a cover. This is probably a bit thicker than I'd normally use. That might just help to keep some of that warmth in there now over these cold periods. Thanks for watching.